Hello, this is Marco with Global Specialties, and today I want to show you how easy it is to implement your own custom designed circuit onto an FPGA chip. And we're going to do that using the DL030 Embedded Systems Design Trainer. In part 1 of the video, we're going to draw our own circuit using the Quartus II software. And in part 2, we'll upload that circuit onto an FPGA chip using the DL030. So to get started, you'll need to install the Quartus software on your computer and run a test program on your DL030. Just use the installation CD included in your package and follow the instructions in your included manual. See you in a bit. Let's open Quartus. And we're going to go to File, New Project Wizard. And the first thing it's asking for is a directory to put your project. And I'm going to set up a new folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call it Logic, because the circuit I'm going to be designing today will essentially be a simple logic gate. And my logic gate I'm going to be using is an AND gate, so I'm going to just call this project AND gate. Now these two things here, the name of the project and the top level design entity, normally they are the same. So I'll move on, next. And that folder, logic, does not exist, so I am going to create it, yes. And I'm not adding any files to this program. Now I have to tell the computer which FPGA I'm using, and you will see in the manual that ours is the EP3C16F256C8. So I'll select that, and next. And I have no EDA tools. Next, and finish. Okay, here we go. Let's add our first, or our one file. If we go to Files here, we can see the files that are associated with this project. And right now we have none, so we'll add a file, a new. And there are several different kinds of files, but we really only use 3 in designing our circuits. The block diagram schematic file, the VHDL file, and the Verilog HDL file. We'll use a block diagram schematic file when we want to draw our own circuit. And the VHDL or the Verilog HDL is when you want to describe your circuit using code. So today we're going to do the simple method of doing a schematic or a diagram. I'll double click on that. And now what I have here is basically a drawing board. And I can double click on my drawing area to get my components. They're in the library here. And I have mega functions here. This is where you have your high-end components, like your arithmetic functions or your digital processing functions. I'm going to go down to the primitives, and the logic is what I'm looking for. I'm going to select a 2-input AND gate, and it's designated AND2. And I'll hit OK. And now my cursor has the AND gate attached to it, and I can just place it anywhere I like. So I'll click there. Now I need to select 2 inputs and 1 output for my AND gate. So I'll double click on the area again, or I can go up here to this symbol tool, and select that. And I'll close the logic and go to pin, and I'll select input. And I'll place an input pin there, and another one there. And I have to hit escape on my keyboard to stop that. So I want to connect my input pin to my gate. I can do this 2 ways. One is I can move the cursor till it comes to the connector. The connector is the very end of the pin, and the gate also has a connector right at the end. So when it hits the connector, you see the cursor turns into a crosshairs. And then I can click on it, and at that point I can extend and draw a line out from it. And my line didn't actually reach to the AND gate. So let me show you how to delete a line that's not so perfect. If you click on the line segment, click once and it'll highlight just the segment. If you double click, it'll select the entire line. So I can do that, and then I can right click and hit delete. So let's try it again. I will get the crosshairs there, and then I will draw my line, and now it is connected. And once it is connected, I can move this around and it stays connected. Now let me show you a second way to connect. I can simply select my component and move the connectors where they touch. And once they're touching, then I can pull away and it's connected. So now I have my two input pins and I need an output pin now. So I will double click on the drawing area and select an output pin. And I'll place that, and I'll just move it up and pull it away. So there I have my AND gate set up, and I'm going to do my first test here. I'm going to click on the icon that says Start Analysis. That's right up here. Start Analysis and Synthesis. So this is just the first step of the entire compilation sequence. This analyzes your circuit to make sure you have all the connections and the names entered correctly. It's equivalent to making sure there's no syntax error if you are doing a C program. So it's asking me to save my file, and I will save it as AND gate as I already did. So I just hit save. And it will go through and analyze my file. It looks like there is one warning. Typically you can just ignore these. So I'll just hit OK, and I'll go back to my AND gate. So there you have it, a completed circuit, a 2-input AND gate. And in part 2, I'll show you how to implement that onto your FPGA chip. And if you have any questions or comments, you can find us on the web at globalspecialties.com.